Oh, the mic is on. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Yes, forgive me, I'm just poking through myself. Yes. I'm trying to find my accursed rat. I don't know where the fuck he went. Oh, wait, I think I found him. How's everybody feeling this morning? Huh? Huh? It's certainly been a weekend. Haven't seen you guys since my birthday stream and then the follow-up. Oh, that was definitely an event and a half. It's morning. Well, for us in Chiron anyway. I don't know about the Europeans in chat. I'm sure it's around evening over there. The Americans, I know it is getting close to noon.
Well, you'd certainly know all about mid, wouldn't you, I fear?
You hearing this shit? Are you agreeing with that shit? What do you mean by that? If you'll be smart, you keep your tongue. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway. Now, today's topic is interesting because I usually like to come out of the gate. Oh, there goes my keyboard. Oh, there goes my gun. I have a gun that shoots salt to kill bugs, and that just fell over. And my keyboard is all the way over there. Ah! This is what I get. This is what I get! This is what I get for feeding you creatures. Alright. A gun for bugs? Yeah, no. You put salt cartridges in there, and it sprays out like a sawed-off shotgun. But it's not. It's like a... anyway. I need some coffee. So, when I came up with this stream idea, I had like 5 hours worth of things to say. And that was a week ago. I still have lots of things to say. But I feel less strongly about it. That's the issue about pre-planning topics, is that sometimes you feel more passionate. I still feel passionate, but... after going through a very intense birthday and then being sick for a weekend, you're gonna get a little bit more mellowed out, venting in thoughts today. If Mambo was on the stream, this never would have happened. Oh, you think? Alright, let's see. Mambo? Are you gonna be my scuff protection? Here. Why don't you chill with your buddy in the corner? We got the Toon Squad over there. Anyway, so mid versus quality work. Now, what is the difference? If there even is a difference, is it subjective? Is there such thing as an objective peak versus mid? And does it even matter? I would like to argue that... Oh, did you enjoy the cake? Yes, I very much so enjoyed my citrus cheesecake. That is my favorite kind. Why are you nodding? You didn't get any. What, you wanted some? There's some left over in the fridge. If you behave this stream, you can finish it. Okay. Yes, your opinion equals peak, all others equals mid. That's how it works. Actually, no. There is such thing as objective and subjective peak and mid. And I want to go through that just a little bit. Now, again, this is all highly opinionated on my end, but again, I'm always right. Now, first, to be able to classify what is mid and peak, we need to actually give them solid definitions. All right? Peak is something that is high quality. Peak is something that has a specific purpose. Peak is something that is memorable. Mid is something that is purposeless, lack of purpose. It is something considerably low quality, be it either in writing or in development. And mid is potentially lazy. It doesn't have to be as a rule, but potentially. So. For example, I would claim that... Okay. Sorry, my thoughts were all scrambled. Some would say that peak versus mid would be, it's pushing a political message and so it's mid. No.
Of course there's an objective peak and mid. Katya, for example. Her chest peak, everything else mid.
I'm already having a hard enough time saying words today, okay? Can you shut the fuck up? Mid would be mediocre, so there should be worse than mid. Anyway, people, I had this conversation with someone the other day, and I heard the argument that peak versus mid is political messaging versus apolitical. And I would argue that is not true in the slightest. Art can and can't be political, right? I would say it's more about the intention behind the creator itself. And that can be entirely apolitical. Like, yes, it can be a political intention for a piece of content to be made. There could be an anime whose whole purpose is to be, very hardcore about the environment, right? That is a highly political thing. However, it could still be peak, just as much as it could still be mid. What makes something peak is its longevity, its quality behind production, and the baseline intention of the studio itself. So if the intention is purely only propaganda purposes, and it's not to deliver a good story, it's not to allow there to be character development and growth, and it's not to keep someone's attention for X amount of time, then it's mid. However, if that propaganda piece is given very intricate, delicate care in its story crafting, if the characters are well designed and memorable, and if the budget, doesn't matter how big or small it is perfectly utilized in every penny. So let's say it had $1 billion budget, they used every billion properly, excellent. If they had the budget of a thumbnail and a severed leg, and they used that properly, and the animation looked like garbage, it could still be peak. It's about how do people min-max their resources to create something, and was something created with the intention of being consumed and thrown away, or observed and remembered for a long period of time. That is the crux of my peak versus mid argument. Mid content and bad content, and just not even content. Content is such an internet-pilled word. Media and literature. High quality media and literature sticks around, and it is remembered, it is echoed through time, and sometimes it even ends up being parodied or referenced. Right? Mid or low quality stuff almost never gets remembered. And one might argue, what about the so bad it's good? That's peak. That's peak because it had a bad budget, maybe, and it was highly memorable.
You want to experience peak? You should play Ghost of Yodi. I heard it's an excellent fish cooking simulator.
Just for that one, Necro, I'm putting you in timeout for 5 minutes. Wait, it's not letting me put you in timeout. Hold on. Okay, it'll only let me put you in timeout for 1 minute. I'm putting you in timeout for a minute for saying blasphemous garbage. Killing you for a single minute. For a single minute, you die. Anyway. The room reenacted by Katya would be peak. Now, I would argue that the room is peak. It's highly memorable, even if it isn't quote-unquote high quality.
Please don't criticize my favorite slop too hard, boss. My consumer brain can't handle opposing opinions.
Now, this is where things... Oh, thank you for the 5, by the way, Gigas. This is where we get more into the subjective argument, because I'm speaking objectively. Yes? Subjective is when it gets down to, well, the consumer and how they interrogate the artwork. They approach it, they gnaw down on it, and they let it sit with them. Because something that is objectively mid, something that could be genuinely garbage, that was made with no good intention and with no staying power, could still resonate with somebody in the audience, and to them it could be the best thing in the world. That is where you break the actual concept of peak versus mid down. You have objective peak and you have subjective peak. And typically when somebody is into something that is objectively mid, they can almost always usually recognize that it itself is garbage, but they have still decided that they really like it. And that more so speaks on the individual level of that person and what kind of person they are. Everybody has something they like that is genuinely very bad, like really low quality, and it's inherently built to be pumped out, consumed, and thrown out like garbage. Like, there's some YouTube channels out there that just redo the same video over and over and over again, but there's people that are seated. They are seated there for every single one of those videos.
Red heart emoji.
What? Thank you for the red heart emoji. Girth Demon. Girth Demon. What do you have to do to get that name? The fuck? Okay, but what if the plot twist of your name was like, the reason you're called the Girth Demon is because of a lack of girth, right? Girth Demon, you're the Girth Demon because you are hunting down other people's girth. You eat and absorb them. You consume girthed individuals. People summon you thinking that you're going to girthify them, but in return you actually destroy them and you leave them sexless. Boss, please stop talking. This is a talking stream. You're getting what you get. Not the inflation demon. Llama. What, you think that... I think my logic is pretty sound. That's trash, which is just garbage. Mid, which is forgettable. The worst fate. Peak, which will be remembered for its greatness for years to come. And lobotomy, which is so garbage, it's unforgettable. That's fascinating. You know, typically when you get a lobotomy, though, you really forget everything, you know? Boss, when are we getting the public humiliation stream? That's every single stream. What are you talking about? I would say that, objectively, all the brain rot memes are mid. They're not going to be remembered. Maybe one or two of them might sit in the same mind space as YouTube poops do for us, for this generation's youth.
Up.
I'm conflicted. This is diabolical. Hello, Meth Wizard. You hearing this slander? You want to hear something interesting? Now that we've gone through the basic topic. If you guys have anything to add on to it, again, this is the issue when you pre-plan a topic a week in advance. Sometimes you run out of steam. But we can continue it with as is with a regular Zatsu. I had notes, and they've kind of evaporated, and I'm not feeling as passionate about this one today. So I think today, it's going to be a cozy day. Also, I was vomiting on my birthday, so I've got no stamina today. I'm going to be I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Before stream started, I was in call with Memoria. With Hawthorne. And I'm like, hey, I kind of want to cancel today. And she went, oh, why? And I went, oh, it's because I'm feeling ill. She's just like, are you? And I'm like, no, I was feeling ill the whole weekend. I'm feeling fine now. I just don't want to stream. I'm actually feeling a lot better now that we're actually getting moving and that we're talking. It's just getting the door open, right? You need to build momentum and then you feel better, you know? Was the rum good? Drank too much? I have been trying to be a teetotaler for the last month or so. I think for my health and for everybody's safety, I'm gonna save drinking to very special occasions. While my birthday is special, I just didn't have any on hand, and I was already, like, viscerally ill, so I probably wouldn't have drank anyway. Static friction is greater than moving friction. Oh, absolutely. Did you know that, this little rat here, he came back on my birthday. Yes. However, he'd been missing for quite a while, and I wasn't sure where he went. Last I saw him was Memoria's library. Apparently, he'd been chilling there for a while before he helped me out with with our little birthday adventure where we went to the forest and we fought a pirate. So, I'm kind of suspicious of him because he's been acting different ever since. Less of a yes man, for sure. Pipsqueak Mayoshi. I'm not sure what Pipsqueak is up to. What's going on in that little mind of yours? He cleared quite a bit of his debt giving me that gate. In fact, he's like maybe months away from getting his body back. But he's been odd. He's been suspicious. Yeah, why are you looking so downtrodden? Like you're trying to hide something, you guilty little rat. Yeah, okay, give me the silent treatment. I know what you are. I don't trust anybody who hangs out with Memoria for a long period of time and then comes back different. What did she make you read? Pipsqueak becoming an enforcer future arc Pog. I don't know if I can trust this guy. Look at him. He's having way too much fun. He's way too cheery. Chudsqueak versus Chad Mambo. Mambo's totally unbothered. Barbecue him. Ooh, that's a good idea. I think that's a great idea. What do you think? Oh, okay. What's the alternative then, Pipsqueak? Mambo? You want me to barbecue Mambo? I would, but you know why I can't.
On break, but I wanted to say a number of SABLETOONS hang out with different factions all the time. Maybe they're plotting to escape your grasp.
Yeah, okay, maybe they're trying to plot to escape my grasp, but they can't. They'll be stuck as rats until I pull the trigger again. You see this? You see this? You see Pennyworth? He may fucking hate me, but he's the only thing that can put you back to being the way you were. And he doesn't fire with anyone he can't resonate with. He may hate my guts, but nobody else can pull this trigger and have anything come out. Yeah, that's what I thought. Make him watch the Artemis Fowl movie. That's like the one scene in Clockwork Orange. You know, I haven't brought up Artemis Fowl in like 5 or 6 streams. You guys are artificially starting to try to implant it now because you want a rant. You want a rant. This is intentional, and you guys sicken me. You guys sicken me. It's very transparent what you want out of me. And you're not getting it out of me. You're not getting anything out of me. Why Artemis Fowl is objectively peak. She Artemis to life Fowl. Colin Farrell is peak. Okay. Okay. Pipsqueak. I'm getting rage baited. Yeah, I'm getting rage baited. And I'm gonna say it's working. Farrell made the movie better. Okay, you guys are just trying to piss me off. Do you ever let Mambo or Pipsqueak use the pipe? Would you like to? What about you, Mambo? Alright, here. Take a puff. You know, that was pretty fast acting.
I occasionally hang around the dragon due to chest, tummy and the broken horn. But none of the other girls are as unique as you in my heart.
That's very sweet of you. Renting a
Rent and get paid.
I'm not entirely sure why you got. Fuck you! I'm taking you to the cave. We're going to the poison cave now. Does Pennyworth gambling abilities do random shit, or are there specific things Pennyworth can do? Well, the thing about Pennyworth is that he has very specific talents. Hold on, why am I cut off? There we go. As you can see, Pennyworth is a slot machine. Now, he's very temperamental, and he can decide what he lands on. Typically, he likes to agree with what I do, all things considered, because we have very homogenous goals. We have our bitter squabbles, but if I want something, he typically does it, unless he's having a very bad day. If he's having a very bad day, then he'll probably, he scrambles shit up. And some things that he likes to scramble up. Sometimes he'll shoot a little flag that says bang. Sometimes he'll make it a water gun. Sometimes he'll make it a flamethrower. Sometimes he'll just put in live bullets and he'll just shoot somebody with an actual bullet. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, typically, when it hits 777 right here, if it lands on that and I shoot a person, they get turned into a rat. And if it lands on this and I shoot a rat, they become a person. Have a good one, somebody. What I miss? What's considered peak and mid? The intention of the author is the difference between peak and mid. That was the conclusion that was drawn. Delicious silver flowery opium. My lungs will be colored a beautiful tar color. Absolutely. Can he shoot candies as bullets? I haven't asked him, and truthfully, I haven't seen it happen, but anything's possible. Just depends on his mood. He is an Arcana-based weapon, after all, and Arcana-based weapons have a little bit of a soul inside of them. Like the Valorbane. Valorbane that our glorious leader currently wields. I'm pretty sure she has many conversations with that creature.
One man's mid is another man's peak is a find when talking about anime, but a less final way to find out your parents lost the adoption gotcha.
That's crazy. The reason your teeth are so colored is because of the fact that I smoke? My teeth aren't yellow! My teeth are pearly white, I shall have you know. So Star Wars sequels, mid, prequels, peak? Yeah, 100%. The prequels are memorable, and with the budget they had, they made good use of it, even if it wasn't necessarily the best writing. Whereas the sequels, they had a massive budget that they wasted. The writing was dog shit. And it was very transparent that it was only money. Like, it was only the money. It was only about the money. Somehow Palpatine returned. Sequels didn't have Jar Jar. No. Jar Jar was my favorite. My teeth are not yellow. I will say the one downside to constantly being exposed to this plant that's behind me is that, well, I guess it's right here too. Constant exposure to this plant means that I can't get high off it. I've always been wondering. I always wonder what it feels like. But I've genuinely never experienced a high from it. Nice DreamWorks face, boss. No, the DreamWorks face is when you lift one eyebrow and put the other one down and then go at an angle. Can you get high off my flower? Sniff my flower. Do it! Sniff my flower! Pussy. Can't get good help these days. Alright, scene change. We're in the bar now. Do you know why? Because I'm restless! I'm absolutely fucking restless! Well, stay in the bar for a while. Mom, but what are you doing down there? I thought you were, like, passed out in the corner. Let's move this up here. Been very excited watching Hawthorne prep her special event that's happening soon. Events behind the scenes are very chaotic here in VP. You know, the world, outside of Ferris has been very chaotic the last year or so. And every time something new happens, I wake up at 2 in the morning, angry. And I have been waking up angry every night for the last month. It's left me... It's made it very difficult to do anything, really. There are times where I really wish I could crash out.
The fact that some people use flower as a euphemism is killing me. RN_Sable laugh.
Yeah, what kind of euphemism, huh? Why don't you tell the class what exactly you mean by flower, huh? Tell me what you mean by flower. Tell me or the rat gets it. You don't seem very scared. Yeah. Want me to show you my flower? Pixie prototype. I would like you to go far away and have a wonderful TwitchCon. And stay far away from me. Stay as far away from me as possible. Degenerates like you need to be nailed to a cross. That a convention for people who twitch? I'll make you twitch. What if Pixie likes that, though? Pixie won't like it for long. In pieces. Shit's fucked, man, but as cruel as this might sound, don't cry for idiots, you'll be crying all day. It's less about crying about idiots and more anger about the lack of agency, the lack of what I can and cannot do on my own. There is so much that I would love to fix. This world is a very damaged place to be in. Hell, Ferris has a lot of the same problems. It mirrors, not one-to-one exactly, but at least over here there are things I can fix. But I have friends on Earth that I wish I could just scoop up and bring over here, you know? If I could do a interplanetary conquest, take over Earth for the mighty Chiron, I think that would be for the best. The other day, there was like, people on the internet were gooning about the idea of a rapture, specifically the evangelicals on TikTok. They were losing their minds. They were selling their cars. They were giving their children to CPS because they believed that they were going to heaven, but their children weren't, which is hilarious. They were giving their pet animals to like their sinful neighbors, which, what an insult. Can you imagine somebody calling you in the middle of the day being like, would you be available to adopt my dog? Would you be able to take my pet? I expect to be raptured soon. It's like, oh, so you think that I'm not worthwhile to be raptured? Anyway. It had me thinking. It had me thinking one of these long, long nights. What if there was a demographic of people that one day vanished? Be it rapture, or maybe they sunk into the depths of the abyss, or maybe they just went to a different planet, just overnight. Massive demographic. Let's say 10 million people vanished. Now, that's a lot of people, but keep in mind the sheer amount of people that exist on this planet. There are cities that have 10 million people in them, right? So the size of like an obnoxious city. right? What happens? Now, my thoughts are, well, okay. Let's say all of the people that disappeared
The world is not round or flat. It is fucked.
the world is curvaceous. The world is sexual. Okay, let's say let's give ourselves 3 scenarios. One scenario, 10 million people randomly scattered throughout the earth. I genuinely think nobody would notice, or very few people would notice, and it would be considered a conspiracy theory. Only the people directly affected by those who were gone would notice, unless every single kind of person had a shared commonality, like a religion, or they were very loud about vanishing. Just, if it was evenly spread out, whatever. Now, let's say it wasn't specifically 10 million random people. Let's say one entire country. Doesn't matter the population, all right? And in 2 scenarios, a first world country full of people and a third world country full of people. Let's say, first off, the third world country full of people. No, first world. Let's go first world. Let's say the first world country full of people. And for the sake of argument, let's say that Earth's country. Well, there would be a lot of argument as to if these places are even considered first world anymore. But let's say Canada, all of Canada, just vanished overnight. Everyone in Canada, poof. What would happen in the next 48 hours, the next week? Well, in this thought experiment, I'm sure that the country overnight, even though there is like no government, there's no police force, there's nobody manning the borders, nobody flying the planes that are strictly Canadian, I think waves of people would just come crashing in without regulation. I think it would be a full-scale invasion of potentially Americans, because they're the closest demographic, and then whoever has the easiest access to airlines. Now, that one I'm not so sure. I would think maybe other people who were already in a system, who were already on airlines, who already arrive, maybe guests, they show up there. It would be very much a mad scramble by the wealthy to reclaim the land as fast as possible and to fill it with their own people, because a first world country like Canada, lots of resources, lots of infrastructure, lots of animals, lots of building. Everything is, despite its politics, it is a very appealing kind of chunk of land, and it's a big one. And genuinely, I think that the world might, talk a little bit about, oh no, where did all the Canadians go? But after like 2 months, everybody will have given up. Nobody will be looking for them. Now, what about the third world country? I would say, let's say India. Let's say everybody in India vanished. Every single person in India. I would say that initially people wouldn't notice, except for the people that left India to visit family. Or, left India and they have lost contact with family. Initially, people wouldn't notice. And when they do notice, I think the nature of it being third world with damaged infrastructure, lack of resources, and overall it's very damaged, people would be a lot slower to claim it. However, the people that do come in there and try to take the land, I think maybe potentially people that lived there in the first place that immigrated out might try to go back in. And then the common folk wouldn't try to immigrate in, but absolutely the ultra wealthy would. They would potentially offer monetary incentive to clean the place up and turn it into a luxury place for themselves. Maybe even use it to build weaponry. Oh, I think a lot of people would notice. It is a massive demographic, But I think maybe the outcry behind it would be less severe because it is quote unquote a third world country. It would still definitely be seen. Can you even clean India? Here's the thing about a place that has infrastructure and sanitary issues such that its population is fleeing to other countries. Population and sanitation and infrastructure issues are perpetual. Part of what keeps third world countries third world is the culture of its population. And this isn't a diss or a slight. It takes a specific mindset to wake up every morning as a collective unit and to make sure that your streets are clean, to make sure that garbage goes in the right place, and to make sure that your families are taken care of and not kidnapped. Yes? And also to raise your children not to have tendencies that allow them to devolve in such a way. Society is run by its population. Even if the population is being controlled by its government, at the end of the day, you do not have a society without people in it. Society is people. A first world country typically is characterized not just by the resources the country itself has, but by the behavior of its population. Because a place with minimal resources, if those resources are taken care of properly, if they are used to their fullest potential, you can still have a good enough quality of life as long as you have a strong infrastructure that allows for good trade between countries. If you keep yourself sanitary, if you keep yourself safe, you keep crime down, you keep hygiene up, I would argue the difference between a first and a third world country isn't simple. It's a multi-pronged thing. But I would say the most important part about any country is the... You can hear the gears in my head turning as I'm thinking of the right words to say here. Is the culture of its population. So, the culture of a population also affects its reputation. And so, if your culture is different enough and destructive enough that it gives you a negative reputation all throughout the world, then if you were raptured overnight, I don't know if people will notice, like, immediately, but the reaction will definitely be different than if all Canadians were raptured. If all Canadians were raptured because of how the population historically treated its land, treated its resources, and treated its people, it would be a lot more appealing to immediately swoop in as a common person and try and take those resources for yourself. Take that space for yourself because it is already properly set up for you. Whereas if you are in a place where things are not maintained, they're not maintained, it's not going to be as appealing for anyone except for the businessmen. So, in conclusion, if we had massive amounts of rapture, let's say it was sprinkled throughout evenly all around the world, not many people would notice and it would be chalked up as conspiracy theory. If it was all one country, if it was a first world country, people would be opportunistic and try to take everything, and they would hope that those people don't return. And if it was a third world country, we would have a bit more of a complex situation where some people would want to swoop in immediately and some people would not care. They would want to stay far away. If I was on Earth, first world is NATO, second was the Warsaw Pact. That's crazy.
First world is NATO. Second was Warsaw Pact.
If I had infinite money, just purely from a business perspective, if raptures happened and the population of Canada and the population of India both disappeared at the same time, my priority would be probably to go swoop into India. Like, honestly, like everybody, I know that everybody would be focusing on wonderful Canada, but if all the Indians, like all the native population of a country like India is gone, there is actually resources there. They're just a bit harder to access. But if you have infinite money and very little competition, then it's truly a pittance to just hire infinite cleaning crews, hire infinite people to go in and replace the population, to push replacement movements.
Third world is unaligned nations.
If you had infinite money, the economy would crash. That's the thing about infinite money. There are people out there with infinite money, but the economy doesn't crash because they don't act like they have infinite money. Economies crash when the infinite money is put into use, when people are actually made aware of the money and it loses all value. However, those with infinite money don't want their money to be without value, so they hide their true amount. India has big and hungry neighbors. You know, that is a good point. Replacement theory mentioned? No, I'm not talking about the replacement theory. That's a very specific, different thing. Specifically about active populations. No, I'm talking about a big empty chunk of land. No. Oh, Pakistan and China will have a field day, maybe Nepal and Sri Lanka. Well, you know what? That is genuinely a very good point to make. That is an incredible point to make, and one that I missed. I kind of glossed over it in the First World one because I assumed that the US would swoop in and take everything Canada has to offer, genuinely make it a 51st state. But I neglected how chaotic things are on the other side of the world. So maybe the billionaires would try and take a chunk, but more likely than not, the neighbors would probably fragment it and take pieces for themselves, and we'd just get bigger countries. That said, those pieces would still need a lot of maintenance. If gold also gets raptured, what's the next best form of currency? In a practical sense, potentially silver, but at the same time, the best form of currency is a very difficult topic. I have opinions, but they're not necessarily the right ones. Bottle caps? Yes, bottle caps! Let's go! Fallout! I think we should use plutonium. We should use plutonium rods as currency.
Japan isn't a first world country. Non-NATO.
Non-NATO. Japan is fascinating with its new election cycle that just went through. They got their first female prime minister ever, and immediately she is very anti-immigration. Like hardcore anti-immigration. She's their most right-leaning, well, right in regards to American political viewpoints. Apparently, right and left mean different things in different parts of the world. So when I say right and left, I mean it from the theoretical American standpoint of what right and left means. But no, their new prime ministeress, yes, she's, thought she wanted Indians too. Have you seen her campaign? No, she got elected on the basis of anti-immigration, from my understanding. It took a very, very short period of time for Japan to flip its stance. Although it's also interesting because you're actually seeing new, like, blossoming BLM movements in Japan. Like, genuinely, like, branded Black Lives Matter movements in Japan. And you're also seeing a lot of the feminist movements that happened in the early to mid 2000s. We are seeing exact replicas of those starting up in Japan right now. Like, only time will tell with this new prime minister what happens. But I can see evolution in two different ways.
American politics is just Anakin versus Darth Vader.
Are you Team Anakin or Team Darth Vader? I'm Team Darth Vader. Got the cool breathing mask. Anyway. I need to shut up before I get myself in trouble. I'm just checking to make sure that my... No, it looks like I'm in the clear. But still, I digress. This is a topic for another day when I've actually made notes. When I've actually got my ducks in a row. Because this is too nuclear of a topic to approach without preparation. Chat, draw Darth, Katya. But you guys, like, speaking of drawing, I think next stream I'm gonna do a drawing stream. Some people were asking about me doing a drawing stream, and typically, historically, I don't do them, well, nowadays, I don't do drawing streams because I have a very hard time splitting my attention. If I'm drawing, I'm gonna be very quiet, and I'm not gonna be talking to chat. However, if I'm talking to chat, I will never finish a drawing. So, I will attempt to do a single drawing stream. I'll come up with something, make it nice. We'll see how it goes. More likely than not, it'll probably devolve into some batshit insanity. And you'll get half a drawn doodle. I mean, I do have some, like, half-finished artwork from the last time I tried a drawing stream that I could just keep going on. Calling a collaborator to keep an eye on you. Oh, actually, that could be... Wait, a drawing stream with Memoria. Oh my god, I've been waiting for an excuse to pull her onto a stream. But Leia can do it. Is she better than you? Listen here, you little shit for brains. I am going to murder you. I am going to feed your body to your family. I'm going to put you in the meat processor and turn you into ground mince. Like, I'm gonna mince you into tiny, you're gonna be a slurry of meat, okay? And then I'm gonna take you to a skilled meat artisan. I'm gonna form you into burger patties, okay? You hear that? You're gonna be a burger patty, all right? And then I'm gonna take them to your family, and your dad's gonna cook you on the grill. Your own father will feed you to the rest of your family. And then the family will go, wow, this meat's kind of off. What did you do to it? And it's just like, oh, it came from the butcher that way. And then your family will go, you bought expensive meat at a butcher? Why didn't you just use the grocery? Like, they had a deal going on. Oh, well, I was given, like, a deal on this one. Well, no wonder you were given a deal. This meat is rancid. And then they will mock the way you taste from the afterlife. Fuck you, Necro. Scott Tenorman, Necro. What can I say? Scott Tenorman must die. This long pig tastes funny. This is your brain on, like, don't even get me started. I was so excited to play that game, and I hope to finish it this week. I was so excited to play that stupid game. I got the DM that day saying, hey, we prepped something on stream. It took us all stream. Do you have a few minutes? And I'm like, yeah, okay. We need a break. We've been playing this game for 2 hours. I'm sure like a 5-10 minute thing is no biggie. 20-minute League of Legends presentation. I wanted to rip my eyeballs out. Those goddamn trolls. I love them, but dear God, I'm gonna have a conversation with them. absolutely sucked the soul out of me, and I couldn't play the game anymore after that because my brain was just thinking about how mad I was that I got tricked into sitting through a long-ass League of Legends presentation. That's the thing about me. I'm very... Unfortunately, I have many woman moments, despite me doing my best to be an evolved creature. And part of me having a woman moment is when I get angry, I can't focus. Yes. Now, sometimes the anger could be part of the focus, and, you know, sometimes angry people can do really cool things. I plan to be, got baited into a League of Legends timeshare pitch keck. Katya's a woman? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Necro? What do you think, huh? Warned you to just pretend you didn't see their messages, you didn't listen, it's your fault. I'm not gonna be goddamn rude. I'm not gonna be rude. I'm not gonna be rude. That would be such a dick thing, especially since they warned me they were gonna do something beforehand. And you know what? I might be an asshole, but I'm not a dick. I very much so care about those girls. Even if they're gonna torture me with League of Goddamn Legends. I'm going to shit fury on them the next opportunity I get, by the way. Like, god damn it. You see, there's an old saying, betrayal never comes from an enemy. Betrayal can only come from those you considered your friend. And by God! Made me sit through a goddamn League of Legends timeshare pitch. Like the bartender typically says, I'd rather stick forks in my eyes. What do you think? Yeah, me too. Now, don't worry about Mambo, he's fine. What do you mean, no? He's right there! Yeah, so what if he's out for the count? Look, he's all smiley. He's so dopey. He's unbothered. I'm sure he's fine. He looks stoned. Exactly. Mambo, blink twice if you need help. To blinka, you'd have to... Blinka? To blinka, you'd have to open your eyes. Oh, shit, what'd I just do? So I've been learning Unity the last couple of days while I've been sick. I've been laying there. I actually have it open right now. I've been teaching myself how to do kit bashing. So the model that I used for my birthday stream, I didn't make that one personally. I had help. But it had me interested. And I think I want to do something special for Halloween. So yesterday, I crawled over to Fido. I went, hey, Fangsie. I know you've already got a kit bash. I know you've already got a model. But let me give it a shake. Let me try. And she went, oh, okay. Are you sure? And I went, yes, let me try. Let me bash you. And then she went, oh, okay. Hold on, let me give you a peek. Let me just pull open the image. And I think I did a really good job. Let me just... I sent her some preview photos. Anyway, I plan to do a bunch of fun stuff. Look at that! I think I did a great job. What do you think? Where's the other one? I literally saved both of them. Okay, let's save it again. But yeah, kit bashing is when you take some pre-existing models and you do a lot of edits and you do lots of fun stuff. Like, look at her! I finally graduated from doing stuff in Vroid! Hold on, I had an actual progress shot. Hold on. There was actually one period of time where she was like blonde. Hold on, let me just... Look at that. We got the progress shots. She's so cute. I'm hoping that I can do a Halloween stream with her because I've kit bashed her like a costume. It's a very cute costume. And as well, I'm remaking my own model so that I can put a costume on too, and I want to run around and do some Halloween stuff with her.
Kit bashing is pretty fun with plastic models too.
Oh yeah, no, kit bashing is the best. Where is that one? There we go. That's the shot I wanted to see. Okay, there we go. There you go. There, you can see it in the world. The hair floof kind of flattens down when you're in the game, right? Kit bashing was for plastic models. Well, it's kind of a term that gets multiple uses. Now, I'm not going to show you what her costume looks like, but it is really cute. And I think those of you who are fans of Fangsie will think that it's adorable. I want to get her permission, though, to show it first. But the actual bash itself, I'm very proud of my hard work, because this was a lot of hard work. And it was really the only thing I could focus on between, like, vomiting on rats. Yeah, you were my puke bucket. But yeah. I've been trying to remake my own, and I've just been having a hard time because all of the models a lot of the models like glitch and they don't upload properly and there's issues with them. And so the only one that I've had any like success working with is called the Manuka base, and that's the one that I used for Fangsie. The issue is that the Monica base is really fucking tiny. It's built for Fangsie's body type, not mine. And so the only kit bash for myself that I can make, it looks cute, but it's the wrong body type, and I can't get taller models to work. I'm hoping that by the time we get the Halloween thing sorted out, I can get the taller model to work. But every time it uploads, it says, you don't own the model. And it's like, I do own the base model. What the fuck do you mean? I have the license. Anyway. Some rats might be into that. That's crazy. Body type. Shut the fuck up. Can I actually open? Hold on. Let me go into the thing real quick, the project real quick. Open. I'll show you guys my attempt at a Katya kit bash. Okay, if it'll load and not crash my PC. Boss, check for Megamind open source models for your big chest and big bald head. I hate you. You should kill yourself now. But yeah, I have a costume that I want to use on my 3D. It's like a pirate costume. I thought that would be so funny. Especially with like the theme for my birthday, right? There we go. Oh, I forgot it was naked. Hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna zoom in and take a screenshot. But yeah, no, this is the same body base as the one I made for Fangsie. I'm trying to get it on the Celestia body base, but it doesn't work. Only the Manuka one works. But I think I did a very good job. Now, if only the body proportions weren't so fucking diabolical. I still have the headcanon that UV light passes through yield hair. Aren't you cold? Well, I've been trying to test different outfits, but I haven't found ones besides my birthday one, because the birthday one works fine, that I like in 3D. I want to do a 3D stream very soon, right? But before then, I want to make sure that I have, like, everything set up. It's time. Sorry, Katya, I gotta go. Bye, everyone. Bye, Blood Puma. What a cheeky emote set. Now, my big issue with kit bashing the Katya model is that I'm having a really hard time finding a rose. Now, it's a little hard to tell right now on my live 2D model, but the bun is supposed to be in the shape of a rose. It is getting an upgrade very soon, by the way, to look a little different. So it'll look better. It'll look more reflective of how it's supposed to be. We're getting a brush up! Oh, by the way, I hit a goal. A member's goal, actually, a while ago. Internally, we have goals and rewards in the company. And when you hit a milestone, you get a reward. And I hit like a 500 members milestone in the first month. Now, you don't have to keep the members, but you have to at least hit it. And I hit it. So I get 2.0 rig and visual brush up. So the model's gonna go through a little bit of a reupholstering, and I'm very, very excited about that. Will the knee stay the same as the best feature of that model? Kill yourself right now. You could make your own clothes in Blender. Select tab, parts to be closed, press D, left click, miss, left click. I don't want to touch Blender. I genuinely do not want to touch Blender. It's hard enough working on Unity right now. I am happy enough to just be working in Unity. But yeah, look at her! She's such a cutie! I'm very excited. Already? That's crazy. There are so many things about working with Variance that every day it kind of blows my mind. I'm gonna be so real. Everything about VP is absurd. And as much as I can say safely, it takes a very specific set of circumstances for a company like VP to exist. And it takes a lot of steps done right and a lot of things avoided. But it also takes ridiculous levels of planning. Like, even then, like, no company is immune to pitfalls, immune to waiting for people, immune to issue. But holy shit. When I look out at other people and then I look at us, I realize how easily avoidable a lot of smaller VTuber company problems are. Like, I get a lot of times it's like a lack of potential foresight or knowledge, or maybe just the fact that they relied on, I'm going to shut my fucking mouth. I think I need clearance to talk about that any further. If forced to use Blender, never touch the main fork. It's shit. UI is shit. Default keybinds are shit. Menu breakdown is shit. Look, if one of y'all want to sit down with me in VC one day and teach me how to use Blender, I'll use Blender. But until that point in time, I'm not touching Blender with a 10-foot clown pole. How do you compare making 3D art to 2D art? Actually, it's very similar. But it's only similar in the process of how I approach it personally. Because when you are at a high enough level when making 2D artwork, you are already thinking in 3 dimensions. That is the whole point of making the artwork in mentally, you know? Now, a lot of artists have... Okay, it's interesting. Okay. My approach for making 2D art is a little different than a lot of artists, because a lot of artists, when you say rotate an apple in your mind, they visually, if they close their eyes, they can hallucinate and see an apple in their mind. They can actually physically, visibly see it with their mind's eye. A lot of people, apparently, that's a normal thing that people can do. But there is a portion of artists out there, myself included, that if you close your eyes, if I close my eyes right now and somebody says rotate an apple in your mind, I see pitch black nothing. I can conceptualize the idea of an apple, and I know that objectively it would be rotating, but it's like being blind and holding the apple in your hands and feeling it move in a circle. You know objectively there's an apple rotating, but you do not physically see it with your mind. I am an artist who has the second set of skills. So typically artists will have the first set of skill. Well, mental, visual connection. And so when they're drawing, they are constantly rotating the subject in their mind. They are placing things. They are pre-imagining what it looks like, right? They can see it in their mind's eye, quite literally. I always thought that was a figure of speech, but no, in your mind's eye is genuinely a real thing for some people. And so artists will pre-plan a scene and they will see something in their head and they will do what they can to translate it onto paper. So they are already thinking in 3 dimensions. However, someone like myself, I do not have that internal window. So when I'm drawing, I have a concept, I know what I want to do, and I know the theory behind how I want things to be positioned, but I do not know what it looks like before anyone else does. So when I'm drawing, everything is very much so based on muscle memory and hand, like, skills and theories. And when I'm putting it down on the paper, I am also seeing it for the very first time. So a lot of times I use 3D models. I rotate them around physically on paper to see how I want things positioned. I do 10 billion sketches. I pose things in different ways. I grab a million references. And I'm basically taking the process that artists do in their brain, and I'm doing it out in the physical real world, and other people can watch it. She has the concept of an apple. Yes, shepherds. I have the concepts of an apple. It's like a blind painter. Yes and no. This VTuber can't rotate an apple. Oh, yeah, kill yourself right now. Ironically, it's likely that people have what the net calls highly artistic tendencies to lack visual imagination. Interesting. No, it's, yeah, so when we are drawing on stream, I'm either gonna show up to stream with something pre-planned, so I've done all that kind of mental landscaping and plotting beforehand, or we will come up with something together and you can see the process of me going through a billion different things. But yeah. It helps me if I draw boxes over the body so I can see a 3D structure. Oh, absolutely.
Blender isn't that bad. I once wanted an outfit mod for a game, but nobody had ported it over. I had to recreate the whole thing since it was so blocky, learned modeling, UV mapping and texturing.
Debu, I don't know how the fuck you were able to figure Blender out. Everybody and their dog says that it's so easy. Every time I try. Genuinely, I've tried like no less than 6 times to learn Blender. I have tried, and every time there's just like this mental block. There is just something there, and everybody says that it's so easy. I can't figure it out. Whereas everybody says Unity is really hard, but I'm having a breeze. I'm figuring it out super easy. Like, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's a combination of like the user interface and like the tutorials not being great, or I'm not entirely sure what it is. But Unity, great. Easy. Blender makes me want to kill myself. Had to go to the convenience store real quick. What'd I miss? We stopped talking about theoretical annihilation of entire civilizations, and we started talking about Blender versus Unity. I like Vroid. Like, I know it gets a rap for a reason, but hell, you saw that model, that public model I made for, like, my public Katya Vroid? I love Vroid. I have such a blast with it. You can make some good stuff in there. I mean, the models themselves are subpar. Like, they're really shitty meshes. Very suboptimal. Did you know that Vroid meshes aren't even symmetrical? They might look symmetrical to a viewer, but if you actually break them down by their polygons, they're not even stitched together in the back. Like, there's an open mesh in the back. And the faces are not symmetrical. It's not one mirror-tooled thing. It's, like, absurd. Like, no, it pisses me off thinking about it. I started with Vroid. Hell yeah, Amory! I love Vroid, but man! There's a reason why I'm trying to learn how to kit bash with Unity. It's not because I think I could do something stylistically more accurate. If I wanted stylistic accuracy, hell, I can do incredible things with Vroid. No, I want better model. I burnt my pinky, and there's a big gashed burn line across it right now, and it's been bothering me all morning. Bad at getting Vroid to do what I want. I like Vroid. It feels moldable like clay. We could do a Vroid stream. That could be fun. I could make one of my henchmen for an art stream. I know. I could have Memoria design me a character. She could draw one, and then I could turn it into a Vroid. That could be fun. Sadly, Booth has very little stuff for males. Are you joking? I mean, for Vroid males, yes. But, like, regular assets from males? Jackie Forrest, holy shit. Like, there is a world of great male assets. I have a folder of all the assets I've got off Booth for my kit bashing, teaching myself kit bashing. I mean, if you're not looking for horror outfits, there's a little bit less, or if you're not looking specifically for Prince-themed outfits, there is a little bit less. Take away the idea of Prince, techwear, or slut, and your options are a bit limited. That said, there is a lot of individual pieces where you can mix and match, and you can kind of like make things. That's where the bash part of kit bash comes in, you know? As someone who used Gmod to make artwork, yes, it's possible. Hearing that about Vroid makes me shudder a bit, especially as someone who used Source Engine, Jank, and Spaghetti code. Right? Like, what was the fucking point? It's so easy to just stitch the vertices together, to use the mirror tool. I don't even use Blender. I used to use, not ZBrush. Was it ZBrush? There was a 3D modeling program where it was quite literally you were making stuff out of clay virtually, and it was an obnoxious thing. I got a free trial of it once. And I remember I modeled Nicolas Cage's head. I think I was like 18. No. I was like 16. Yeah, I was like 16 when I used it. If it was Spheres, then ZBrush. I believe it was ZBrush. I haven't touched it since then. I mean, I don't own it, so I can't touch it, but... I used to use Autodeck Viz, but I can't afford Maya. I hear a lot of shit about Maya. Again, everybody says just use Blender. Because it's free and it's really good, but my god. If it's clay, it's sculptress. Sculptress, that's it! Another stream of Chatty Cathy. Bless. Afternoon, Cat. Hello, Kaiser. You missed a bit of chaos earlier. I'm sure Maya's fine, but you gotta pay. Again, everybody says that all of these programs are basically equivalent, which has me, you know, shaking my head and lifting my nose to anything but Blender. And I don't use Blender, right? Like, why would I want to buy something if something free exists? But also, why do I want to use the free thing if it's a pain in the ass? So I'm just not using anything. Never mod a source engine game unless you have alcoholism and masochism to back it up. I'm not going to be modding a source engine game. There is a very talented section of people out there that 3D comes second nature to them, and I envy them because that opens up such a wide world for them. Blender is great since it has so many plugins and add-ons. That's the thing, Debu, and that's my big issue with Unity right now. I actually fucking hate that it needs so many plugins and add-ons to make bare functionality work, to make what I want to do easy, right? Like, yes, they exist, and yes, you can download them, but the fact that I have to hunt down those plugins and download them and then go through the steps to make those plugins work, that is such a heinous waste of my time. That is a pain in the ass. I want something that I can turn on and then make something functional with. The fact that I have to mod a program every single time to make something work is a waste of life, a waste of time. I'm here to be creative and to make artwork. No. Like, it bothers me to no end. And that was another thing that I didn't like about Blender. At least with Unity, it's as simple as you drag your asset in and you drop it down into the asset folder. Like, it's so brain dead simple. Don't gotta do anything else. Whereas with Blender, you gotta, like, go to a whole new menu, and you gotta find it, and then you gotta add it in manually, and then you've gotta find where in the UI it's sitting, and then you've gotta activate certain things sometimes, and then you gotta play with sliders. Like, nope. What is an artist if not disturbed and fucked up in the head? Am I right? Am I right, my fellow millennials? Shut up. Had to look for a lot of plugins even to make it even made decent in Blender painting experience. I prefer just reload after drawing an A-Sprite. I like A-Sprite. Man, I haven't touched A-Sprite in a hot minute. I like low poly and pixel things. Something Sisyphus. Yeah, it's like pushing a boulder up a hill. Ha, Boulder? I don't even know her. Apparently the creative process starts with creatively making damn programs work for you first. 100%. I love low poly models. I have a low poly model artist that I have my eye on. I would love to get one right now, but it's just not in my budget and not in my time frame. But man, I would love to have a low poly model of myself. I mean, look at me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Low poly equilibrium. Low poly equilibrium, little running around game. That'd be fun. I know I can do fake low poly in Vroid. I'm actually very, very skilled at doing that, but it just isn't the same. PS1 Katya. Katya model for Carter Quest when? Carter's Quest is so fun. Actually, the other two parts of the Let's Play have just been finished with the editing. It's up to me to upload them now. I just gotta make thumbnails. Literally, that's it. The only thing that has made the other 2 parts of the Let's Play not be uploaded is lack of thumbnail. I need to get on that. Low poly artists are more expensive than regular model ones. Well, that's because, again, supply and demand. It may be... It's also a highly specific skill set to replicate something visually on such a depreciated level. Like, I wouldn't knock it. Why do so many fail hag VTubers hate making thumbnails? First of all, I'm not a hag. I'm not in my fucking 30s. What's wrong with you? And it's not that I hate making thumbnails. It's just that I haven't made it yet. That's genuinely all it is. I don't mind it. I think it's fun. I think thumbnails are great. It's more like, oh, this is another task I need to do I just haven't gotten around to yet. You're spiritually haggish. I'm going to kill you. I think you'll be a great hag. Hag is a mentality. Hag is a mindset. Hag is a body type. Hag is an age. Hag is a spirit. I will never hag out. Sorry. Never hag out, as I say. Katya Hagel. That just makes me sound like I'm trying to get good prices. They call me Katya Hagel the way I be getting deals. We've seen Baldia. We know the hair is a wig. That fucking bald edit is the funniest thing. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even mad. I see it, and every time I do, I lose my mind. I think I've sent it to like 10 people, and it bothers them so immensely. Like, it is a beautiful edit. I use it to torture people with. Hello, boss. Just got back from my last class of the day. Didn't miss the stream. Hey, Doodleman. Already talking as if you were in the Aunt Katya arc. Who would I be an aunt to, huh? Bunch of stupid coons? Hmm? These fuckers? You're older than me! Don't you give me that look. Yeah, for those who didn't know, Pipsqueak here is 36. Pipsqueak is on the shy side of 40. Pipsqueak is a derogatory name. Yeah, no. In Pip's previous incarnation, you were a bit of a laborer, huh? I remember the day you lost everything. You became a rat. You see, Pipsqueak wasn't always a Pipsqueak. That's just a really mean nickname. He used to be this big, burly guy, massive shoulders. Yeah. He used to own a logging company. Not anymore. Hey, Pipsqueak. It's my company now. Whatever happened to your family? I'm just kidding. I know exactly what happened to your family. Must suck being divorced, huh? Nobody wants to stay married to a rat. Favorite album cover from an artist perspective? I like, fuck, what's it called? Oh, I can't remember. Was it Red? R-E-D? Who did Falling in the Black? No, I didn't ask you. Falling Inside the Black. Skillet! That was Skillet. I really like their Comatose album. I like their album art for Comatose. I think that that's such an evocative. When I get asked what my favorite album cover is, like that one immediately, like that's the first one I think of, because that one is like the most memorable to me. You got the kid standing in the middle of a green gray void, and you got like the plug. Chat, drop Katya getting married. To fucking who? Huh? Huh? To the grind? You draw me in a wedding dress getting married to a goddamn building? Actually, that would be really funny. Can you imagine? Like, oh my god, guys, you're invited to my wedding and it's actually a massive grift to get people to donate wedding gifts to me. Everyone shows up to the ceremony and I'm just like signing legal documents at the front of the building to be legally married to my casino building. No, guys, really, it's love. You know that you know that TV show where the guy married his car? Trust me, it's the same thing. I am attracted to the casino. I can prove it. I will kiss the linoleum. The house always wins. But yeah, no, Pipsqueak here is a 36, 37-year-old man, divorced. His wife took the kids. He no longer has a home to go to. So I don't know what his plans are once he comes back into humanity. Maybe you came up with some when you spent time with Memoria? You gonna become a religious man? Yeah! Wait, really? Oh, don't tell me you fell for her propaganda! Oh, brother. Where's Mambo? Mambo, are you hearing this horse shit? Oh, now he's going off. Have you considered hiring bounty hunters to take care of business, or do they charge too much these days? Well, that's what my enforcers are for. Oh, shut up! Nobody cares! Good. Mambo, is the superior rat? Can you, like, entertain the masses? Can you shut your brother up? I know he's not really your brother, but, like, he's spiritually your brother. There we go. What was Mambo then? Oh, Mambo was like a stupid, like, 18-year-old who blew his family's fortune. Isn't that right, Mambo? No thoughts behind those fucking eyes. I don't know. How old are you now, though, Mambo? You've been in the casino a while.
It's okay, Pipsqueak. We care even if boss doesn't.
No, we don't care. No, we don't care. Oh, shut up!
Yay, brother headcanon validated.
Well, no, they're not, like, actually brothers. They're just, like, brothers by circumstance, so to speak. All the rats are brothers and sisters until they're human. Because here's the thing. When this gun shoots, it's kind of shooting a genetic blueprint into every single one of them. So every toon is technically kind of a clone of themselves. The reason they all get spat out looking different is purely due to just the brain under the rat. Kind of like how sometimes twins from the same eggs come out looking a little different, and so they're fraternal twins, not identical twins. That's how it works, right? No, fraternal twins are two separate eggs. I won't claim to know the exact reason as to why they all look a little bit different, but technically they're all kind of the same makeup. So if one toon did something highly illegal and it went to court, no physical evidence would really stand up because they all have the same DNA, basically. No idea how that works. Out of the main 6, who's your favorite pony? Huh? What? I think that's more of a... I think that's more of maybe like a Fangsie question. Or more of a... maybe even a Hawthorne question. Is that like a My Little Pony thing? Yeah, no, I've never consumed that. I mean, if you ask me who my favorite Uma is, I could tell you that. Agnes Tachyon is my favorite Uma. Has it ever happened that a rat turned into a Master Shifu gigantic-ass rat after being shot by Pennyworth? No, they've really, they always typically are about the same size. She's saying shit we don't give a fuck for. Damn. Well, damn, Obliterator. I'm sorry. You know, if that bothers you so much, I have a quick solution. Am I bothering you, Obliterator? Am I bothering you? Am I boring you? There, I killed him. Oh, you love the spiritual daughter of your rival in drugs, Nova-E? Dr. Nova's awesome. Death go crazy, not gonna lie. Oh, did I only time you out for 10 seconds? Oops. Okay, we know what Pipsqueak was before, but how did he end up losing it all? Well, I mean, you know. I think maybe that's a story that Pipsqueak can tell you one day. I'm sure he'd be too embarrassed to have me say it. Let's just say that I own a very profitable lumber mill now. Rip to that guy up so... Oh, well, my bad then. Here, I'll put you in a proper timeout then. Oh, fuck you, die Obliterator. You're bored, so it's your own fault. Let me finish my coffee. I mean, hey, Pipsqueak, I did you a favor. Your wife was a bitch and your children hated you anyway, because you were never home. I'm not making fan fictions up about your life. I know what I saw the day that she came to drop off the deed. No. No. I'm not as enthusiastic as you are. I don't think your kids are going to be happy to see you when you get back. Okay, yeah, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Maybe your love for your family will stand the test of time. Okay? Maybe you are the main character. Who knows? Yeah, no, your flimsy belief in your goddess is not going to fix your broken family dynamic. It's not going to fix the fact that you're a disgusting, pathetic gambler. You ever rooted for a specific rat to turn back into a human with how resourceful they were? No, I've never really rooted on a rat. The more resourceful a rat is, the sadder it is for me to let them go, because it means I'm losing a valuable asset. Don't give the resources to look at how his family's doing. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't care. Gotta go now. Thank you for the stream, Katya. Have a good one, Subatomic Mule. You may be the first rat successfully converted to Memoria's cult, though, I will say. It would be almost impressive if it wasn't pathetic. Speaking of, it's about time. Let's see, is there someone we can raid? I'm gonna be so real, I'm still actually feeling kind of sick. Oh, there we go. Kana is live. Let's give good old Kana Yanagi a good old shake, huh, rats? I need to go lie down. And so, remember the raid message. It's rats, rats, where are the rats? And I will see you guys next time. I'm hoping to schedule the streams soon. Hoping to post the playthroughs soon. I know I say everything under the sun, but I've got plans. Things are happening. And make sure you check out Hawthorne's very exciting concert that she's planning. Check her out, 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 check her out. Watch her, watch her, watch her, watch her, watch her. Ah!
Shall we cap Pipsqueak here?
Bye, Pipsqueak. Bye, Mama. No, by me! By me! This fuck-ass rat. Hey, you know, Pipsqueak, Mambo. We're both guys. I've never castrated a rat before. But I wonder, if I castrate you when you're a rat, do you lose your ball and chain when I turn you back into a human? Does anybody want to be the experiment? Anybody want to live a life of celibacy? I think it'd be fascinating. I'll reduce your debt if you let me do it. Cowards.